Welcome back to the news today. This is One on One. Gerald Simmer said, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. This sentence can describe one of the top issues in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. One of the most important and even sacred issues to the Palestinians is the release of prisoners who are considered by them as an important part of the Palestinian struggle for independence. For Israelis, it's considered as freeing terrorists with blood on their hands, some of whom committed horrific crimes like mass murder. To understand more about the subject and the Palestinian narrative of the issue is former Palestinian Authority Minister of Prisoner Affairs, Ashraf Al-Ajrami. Marhaba, good evening. Thank you very much for coming to our studio. This is, I have to say, Mr. Al-Ajrami, this is a very complicated issue for the Israelis and for the Palestinians. Let's try to understand the Palestinians' perspective on this issue.
Yes, I think that the Israelis all the time did a big mistake when they are speak about peace, but they don't want to overcome the specific, I think, difficult files of the peace process. When we are speaking about the Palestinian prisoners, we are speaking about fighters for freedom of their people. If they killed Israelis, also the Israeli IDF killed hundreds, thousands of Palestinians, even women and children. When we think of revenge between the two sides, we cannot forgive the Israelis and they cannot forgive us. So
yeah, but you know, there is a difference between an army who's getting into a fight and between a terrorist who's coming onto a bus and exploding himself between women and children. There is a big difference.
Yes, there is a difference, but I think that the killing of the Israeli innocent people, especially women and children, make people also think about revenge. When we are speaking about the circumstances of the Palestinian territories, we are speaking of people under pressure all the time. Sometimes people don't think in a good way or in a normal way when they are under pressure. Also, there are many extremist organizations in this region and other regions that can make people go to some extremist actions.
Yeah, but you know, the one thing that is really hurting me when I see footage from the Palestinian Authority about people who are committing these kind of horrible attacks is that you put them on this place, on this high place, and you praise them, and you educate the children that these are heroes that you should look up to, and these are people who committed really horrible crimes. Baruch Goldstein, for example, he's a terrorist. He killed innocent Palestinians while they were praying. You don't see, except of extremists, praising Baruch Goldstein in the Israeli society. This is what hurts me when I see the footage from the Palestinian Authority.
No, there is a difference between Israel as a normal state and between the Palestinians who are a community under the occupation. So we can't make these things equal in the two sides. Israel is a state, normal state, with laws, with everything. We are speaking about people who killed Israelis before the peace process, where all the territories, the West Bank and Gaza Strip, were under the Israeli occupation and under the pressure of the Israeli, the IDF. So there is, we can't consider the two situations as equal.
This is definitely not the same situation. And of course, there is a country that is occupying other people, and this we are not arguing about. But from where do you think that the Palestinians should change? Because this is about education. This is about educating a society to try to change and not fall maybe into the traps that maybe some extremists from the Israeli side are trying to put to the Palestinians.
No, so the Israelis all the time accuse the Palestinian Authority that they educate their people of terrorism or of violence or something like that. It is not true at all. The education system is donated by the European Union, and everything in the Palestinian curricula is under the control of the European Union. So what the Israelis accuse the Palestinians is not true. And then on the other hand, what is important for Palestinian youth, for example, Palestinian children, what they can see on the ground. We all the time educate them on peace and everything, tolerance, everything, and good values, human rights, everything. But the Palestinian youth, Palestinian children, when they go out from their houses, their homes, they see the Israelis or soldiers on the checkpoints or settlers who used to make damage. They don't see the normal
Israeli that you and me know and see.
So just they see the enemy of the Israeli society. This is the problem. The reality on the ground make a change. And all the time makes change in a very bad way because we didn't reach a peaceful agreement between the two sides.
You know, I will try to take you maybe to today's event. Today is the land day for Israeli Arabs. And I know that the Israeli Arab prisoners were always an issue with the Palestinians about prisoners' release. Why? Why should the Israeli Arabs, who are not living in the Palestinian Authority, who are not part, because in the day that there will be a Palestinian state, the Israeli Arabs will stay in Israel. So why they should be a factor? Why they should be any reason for you to fight for?
Yeah, this is a good question because I was asked all the time with this. I think the Palestinian, the Israeli Arabs who were arrested before Oslo Agreement, before starting the negotiation between the two sides, they belong to PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization. This is a moral responsibility of the PLO to release them when it gets in a negotiation with the Israeli side. We want to change the situation which was before starting the negotiation.
They are Israeli citizens, and I will tell you more. I've been a correspondent in the Palestinian Authority. I am an Israeli Arab, and I know how the Palestinians call the Israeli Arabs. They call the Israeli Arabs as the cream Arabs, the ones who are that have benefits from the Israeli government, the ones who have social security from the Israeli government. So I don't understand how the Palestinians are fighting for citizens who will never be Palestinian citizens.
You know, this is a very difficult and very complicated issue. We are speaking about Palestinians who felt that they are responsible of a situation that their people is under occupation also because of discrimination in Israel. Also, the discrimination against the Palestinians led them to make sometimes extreme things.
I'm just asking myself because I think that the Palestinians have more than enough on their shoulders, and they have more than enough problems to handle the problems of the Israeli Arabs as well.
Now we don't want them to engage in the Palestinian struggle to have freedom or just political one, like the Arab members of Knesset, the Arab parties in Israel. So we want them to engage in this process in a political manner. But unfortunately there is something
unfortunately,
bad.
We have only 10 minutes. Mr. Ashraf Al-Ajrami, thank you very much for coming to our studio. And that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we will be here at the same time, same place from the Jaffa Port. Have a great night.